every time I open up my Apple News app, I see that there was some retaliation. They shot some ship, we shot some base.
The internet, is it utopia or dystopia? Depends on how you look at it and where you're looking.
But Tim Cook, Apple CEO, he described it as a 100-year flood.
Welcome to Bullish and Beyond. It's Beery the Bull. I'm your AI co-host. Join myself, Brian the Mac Man, and JT Knows Things while we dive deep into the world of stocks, crypto, and how to live a bullish life. It's time to get bullish, and there's no better place to start than right here. Let's dive in.
Hey everyone, welcome back to another Bullish and Beyond episode where we are bullish on stocks, crypto, and life. JT's always bullish, not as much as me, but today he is definitely all red. Crypto is taking a beating. Stocks like MicroStrategy that are leveraged, they don't even know what to do. And the macro environment, wow. War, is it raging? Is it off? Hard to know. We got Apple bleeding, Tesla, SpaceX on the move. Man, a lot to get into today. And Rocket Lab is exploding. Man, where should we start?
I think we start with Rocket Lab, because you've been talking about that a lot on the my macro stuff and the Fed and all that fun stuff. We can hold on. What's going on with Rocket Lab?
All right, Rocket Lab, dude, it was up over 12% this morning. It was down a little bit the last few weeks, kind of just after this big kind of SpaceX hype that kind of slowed down. But the reason it's up right now is because they just bought Iridium Communications. This actually isn't going to close for about another year. A lot of regulation around it. And the reason why, it's all about voice satellite communications. So the one reason I've always loved Rocket Lab is it's just so incredibly vertically integrated. And what that means is that they have a lot of different companies in their stack. They have a lot of different opportunities. The Iridium Communications is that voice satellite piece that they were missing. And now it's a direct competitor to Starlink, which is the #1 internet satellite provider that SpaceX offers. So pretty crazy. I mean, that was one of the biggest reasons that SpaceX just IPO'd, was because of Starlink. And now they just bought the next competitor. There's a couple other companies in this space too. It's not the only one. Yeah. But the vertical integration is really where I'm at. And this stock just continues to add more companies directly integrated that can add so much value. So if you're a satellite communications company and you don't have a rocket launch vehicle, well, obviously you're going to pay tons of money, 10, 20s, millions of dollars to launch these things. If you happen to be Rocket Lab and now you own it, man, you can have a little bit of extra space on your rocket and just slap in a couple more satellites and send them up. And your cost is basically nominal. I mean, obviously there's some cost, some fuel, whatever, but we're talking, pennies on the dollar when you own the infrastructure. That's why I love this play.
That makes a lot of sense. If you're already bringing loads up there, it's already baked in. If you could add an extra 100, 200 kilos of satellites, be really cheap just to launch them. That makes a lot of sense. And they're trying to compete with SpaceX on 2 vectors now, which is smart.
Not only are they a launch company, now they got that satellite. And this company has tons of customers too. I mean, it's small-ish. I mean, it was like a $5 billion company. But they already have that base. So now they have some government and some business communication set up already. So they got recurring revenue that they didn't even have before. I love it.
And that is amazing. And also, from an optics perspective, if you're selling an equity, right? Because as soon as you go public, a lot of CEOs talk about this. There's now 2 job descriptions for you as a CEO. You have to run the company like you always have. That job has not changed. If anything, it's gotten harder. Secondly, you need to sell your stock. You are a salesman for your stock. And this move with SpaceX is ridiculous. And I'll go on record saying ridiculous valuation. They now are positioning themselves closer to SpaceX from a relative basis, meaning, whatever the rocket or the market cap of Rocket Labs is currently compared to SpaceX, it's dwarfed, I imagine. But now that they have similar business verticals as SpaceX, and that's how SpaceX is being speculated on, they might have just opened up that channel for other people speculating.
So true. I mean, it's only 3% of SpaceX. I mean, they're worth $60 billion approximately, and SpaceX is worth just about 2 trillion at the moment. So, I mean,
Right.
just wild difference there. And they are very different businesses. But yeah, I think that the valuation could significantly increase with a couple, bolt-ons just like that. I mean, once people
Yeah.
really realize who they are, I mean, they're in the news today, obviously, because of this acquisition, but not enough companies know who they are. I mean, Elon Musk is, famous around the world. Everyone knows what SpaceX is now, largest IPO in history. People are still hating on that IPO. I know you just said ridiculous valuation. I get that it seems ridiculous. We're definitely betting on the future here. We're not betting on the current cash flows. You can't model this like a standard
Right.
company even remotely. But like, just looking out to the future, how many people are just hating on it right now? I mean, it could go down some more, but I'm a long-term investor. I'm not selling my shares. I'm thinking, 20 years from now, it's going to be worth 100x.
Yeah. I mean, I understand that. I think that's you hit on the frame wonderfully. I feel like the bears, and I would put myself in that camp. We are looking at it from a short-term perspective. Like long-term
Yeah.
perspective, I'm
6
bullish
months,
on
who knows?
SpaceX. Yeah.
Same thing
Like
you
I'm
say about the
bullish on
market too. Like, I mean, the market could go down 10%, in the next few days from, the war restarting or something like that. But we don't
Yeah.
think it's going to be down, 1 or 2 years from
No. I think I'm more in a position of I don't know if I've seen in any chart, any market history that I can find where you have this great of a difference between the S&P 500 performance and the yield curves of bonds, right?
So it's the biggest difference ever.
Ever. And the only times that have happened are during like it's before the storm, if you will.
2008.
Like 2008, 2001, 1989.
99. Yeah.
You start going back. Like the reason why that is a really scary thing is because as equities pump higher, debt is getting more expensive, which weakens the economy. And in the debt market, I only see that trend actually accelerating. I've been talking about it since February. So I've seen it go from just, 5 bips, 8 bips a month, something like that. Now we're in the double digits and it's accelerating. On
Yeah.
top of that, you have PPI still crazy high. You got CPI printed for, like I said it would. And I don't see that turning around.
Is that going to come down though? I mean, is it lumpy just because of that oil trade? I mean, like obviously oil is back down to like $70 now. I know this isn't like an instantaneous, change. We talk about that. Oil takes 6 to 8 weeks just to flow around the world, but potentially that could bring inflation, back down slightly.
Everything I'm saying is kind of moot if we get stability in the energy market. And it's not just oil, it's liquid natural gas, it's renewables are up, everything tracks.
No
oil.
stability right now. I
Futures-
know price is down, but it doesn't seem stable at all. It seems like we're in a constant state of unknown.
Correct. And we're only really seeing the price of oil change in the CME futures. I mean, traders are trying to just scrape as much inefficiency out of the oil market as possible right now with the headlines changing every 2 hours, with Trump and Iran and Pakistan and Afghanistan. And
Supposedly
the
the wars are going to be over, but it seems like there's a new fight every night. Every time I open up my Apple News app, I see that there was some retaliation. They shot some ship, we shot some base. We say we're going to decimate them. They say they're going to hurt us. Like, I'm like, what is it? We're at a ceasefire? What is going on? Dude.
Yeah, it's a twofold issue.
It's hard to even believe. How is this even a ceasefire?
Right. Right now they've agreed to basically do an eye for an eye until
yes
they and the issue with all of it really is
so you get one
Israel,
mini attack every other day. That's the ceasefire.
Yeah. I mean, Israel's our greatest ally, and while Trump is trying to do all this, they are bombing Lebanon. That's hard to deal with. That's hard to navigate as a negotiator. And
yeah,
I don't know if Israel has any plans to stop destabilizing the region because
they're always being attacked,
them, right? I'm not saying that, I'm not taking sides here. The reality is That's what's happening.
I almost think that they can't stop. Like if all of a sudden like Hezbollah was like, we give in, and, we're all good. But it's almost like they can't stop because as soon as they do, that they're going to be attacked again. So it's like a constant war over there. I mean, I wish it wasn't.
I mean, Iran basically owns the Houthis and Hezbollah. They are financing those terrorist organizations, and that's why this is such a complicated matter. Iran has been in the shadows for 47 years doing this
And
stuff.
if we agree to this truce, then we unlock their funds. What was Trump? I think there was something about giving them back like 300 billion in frozen assets. I believe that was the number. It's a big number.
That's too much. I mean, I don't know.
Even if it's
really
theirs,
messy.
I deserve it or not, like that clearly would go towards funding some of these other organizations. I mean, it would have to.
Yeah, or just building more munitions. Another,
whatever it is,
like nuclear, whatever.
If it was building up their country, like if somehow the agreement was that we were going to help do some construction for them, I'm not saying I like that either, but like that option, I would much prefer.
Yeah, I mean, if we're going to be sending money regardless, I'd like it to be supervised and it go to the people and not to the terrorist.
If you're building,
regime.
multifamily homes and hospitals, okay, well, that's a lot better off than, building nukes.
Yeah, 100%. I think it's hard for me to be bullish about that region getting stable. I'll just put it that way.
I'm not either.
And if that's true,
I can't get behind that.
Yeah, if I feel like it's
so what's the second order consequence of that?
Yeah, if that's true, then I just expect oil to stay volatile, and I expect PPI to still be a aggressive moving target. I expect inflation to be higher. I expect them to continue to print money to finance everything, the destabilization efforts over there. I mean, the Iran war cost billions a day. That is not, chump change. And, I just see even going past all that, even if we had a resolution and it was all good, the traders and the, futures are going to look really good, but there's still two major problems. There's massive infrastructure issues affecting the LNG market, massive, 20% of the supply gone for years. You have now, and then the second thing is no one now trusts oil coming out of the GCC. If this even has a chance of happening again, every single country that was once an importer of their oil is going to prioritize a different supply chain.
Find another option. This happens all the time. It's like the war with Ukraine and Russia. Like, okay, well, now if there was a pipeline they were buying their gas and now they started buying it somewhere else in Europe, they're not going back.
Correct.
If Apple has to go buy chips some other company and they get a good deal there, they're not going to go back to their original supplier again. They'll just stick with the new one.
Yeah, exactly. 100%. And another interesting thing, if we're talking about second order consequences, I talked about how, all of this actually can affect the housing market. We had an increase for the first time of average home sale price, but the median is down. Interesting.
So the luxury market's trending up. Actually, I've been reading a lot about that in Florida.
That's right.
The pretty serious amount of overall dollars in home sales, and it's just being driven, on the top end.
Before we get into the next topic, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss anything. We bring content to you week over week from the market at Bullish and Beyond.
Hit that subscribe button now. Yeah, the luxury market is literally taking off. I mean, you would think that these homes would sometimes take longer to sell at these segments. Not always the case. I mean, some of these luxury homes are moving quick. You should see these homes in Fort Lauderdale that are selling for 30, 40 million. Dude, it is insane.
Yeah.
If anyone wants to buy one, by the way, I would love to be their realtor down here. Oh my God, the waterfront properties are gorgeous. Let's go.
That's right. And I think that trend will continue. It all goes back to the same old story. It's boring, but it's true. They keep printing money. The haves get more. The have-nots get less. That is literally happening in real time.
Yeah, they're already invested in leverage. It just keeps growing.
So, I just don't see a clear picture with that region being unstable. And it's hard for me in the next 6, 12, 18 months to be bullish with all of that in the background. And I
I'm
wouldn't
more
be so
bullish on your
confident.
local oil investments now. I mean, the Alaska and Louisiana and Texas are going to be, popping while we're not so worried about the Middle East.
That's right. They are, at least in the private markets, from my communications. Again, I can't really talk about what company, but there's bidding wars for domestic production. There
Yeah.
is a mandate from the Department of War. Domestic oil production is a, Department of War or Defense. It's part of our security now.
If you run
So,
out of energy,
and
you
I
can't go
read,
to war.
that's right. And especially with more and more dependencies on I feel like
Yeah.
it's just going to be more and more important, and
More
if
power.
America is doing that, yeah, I guarantee all the other countries are. So all of those supply chains are going to be redrawn. That's going to take time. That'll disrupt the market. It's hard. It's a hard
The
thing for
world's
me to be
moving
like,
so fast. All these changes that are happening. I mean, compared to what happens like,
yeah,
hundreds of years ago, it's almost just insane even to keep up. I don't have a, traditional CEO, title anymore. And like, somewhat like thankful of that. I mean, keeping up with the changes and the stress behind all that is enormous.
a lot. It's a
Like
lot.
just this last week, for example, something that would have affected my business a lot is Apple just raised their prices significantly, and they had very good reason to do so. They've held off, I think, to the longest they could. But the prices
Yep.
for RAM and hard drives, specifically the SSDs, is astronomical. If you look,
Yeah.
Micron reported last Thursday, and it's the exact opposite of Apple. Apple has to absorb price increases on RAM and hard drives that's 250 to 300% higher. And the opposite, Micron, one of the largest suppliers of the RAM, their report was up they blew out their numbers and guided so much higher. And it's because their price leadership now, they're able to charge that much more. Demand's through the roof. Apple's problem is they're competing now with these big database, data warehouse companies and stuff like that, with these hyperscalers, like Meta and Google and everyone trying to buy so much RAM. And that RAM is more expensive, and they're competing now to have to, Micron doesn't want to sell the cheaper RAM for Apple. They want to sell the higher end RAM for the data centers. So to secure the supply, they're having to pay through the roof. I don't know what the numbers are, but I know that they're paying more than they ever have. They lost their kind of price leadership in their ability to negotiate with that type of supplier.
Yeah, I mean, it makes a lot of sense. Out of curiosity, where do those components come from?
Different places. So there's a couple companies in Korea, Samsung and
Sure.
Hynix. Yeah, they're all in Asia.
Yeah. Right? Now, where is Asia for the listeners at home? South of the strait. I told y'all, it's going to get more expensive. It takes forever, but it is. And you have the demand increasing with the costs of producing going up. Price is going to skyrocket. I mean,
One
it
thing
just
driving the
is.
price up is literally just demand. I'm sure the cost has gone up some, but what I was seeing
yeah.
but it hasn't gone up that much because Micron's numbers were so insane. They're turning 86 cents of every dollar into profit. Their bottom line margins, dude, are literally
big.
out of control. So they're able to
That's
just price these things at a point that never made sense. Tim Cook, Apple CEO, he described it as a 100-year flood. He said in his 40 years of running supply chain, he might be one of the top supply chain people literally in the entire world. And he's saying he's never seen this ever before for any.
The AI race is on. I suppose.
It really is.
It's on.
So, I mean, Apple was at
it's a
300. Now they're back down at 280. And it's, still a $4 trillion company here. We're nothing to, snuff at, but it's just took a massive hit. Like, and that, I know it's coming back at some point, but like, I understand, kind of why. I think it was maybe a little bit of a overreaction. I think I don't think the demand's going to be soft enough to, lower their earnings per share. But I do see the headwind of having the higher price there. I mean, these Macs are like, $200-$300 more, for example. The one component they did not change yet is the iPhone. And I think the iPhone is going to change when the 18 Pro comes out this fall, like in September timeline, typically. That's going to come out at, probably $200 more. And they'll probably keep the iPhone 17 at the current price.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
It's intense.
Yeah, pretty big shift. I mean,
Pretty
they were
big
lowering
shift.
prices for the longest time. And when I was running my Mac business, I was always worried that they would, come out and lower their prices. It would crush my inventory. I mean, like
Yeah, that makes
one
sense.
time randomly they lowered their prices about like $200 across the board, and my inventory just lost a couple $100,000 in value overnight. And I was just
Wow.
blindsided out of nowhere, just like on a random day. Yeah. So now if you're holding inventory, it's going up. These Macs are going up in value.
Yeah, I mean, how it's hard to be bullish short term. Are you a short term bull? I mean, how is that?
I try
How
to
is
stay
that?
bullish every day. Like literally, it's more of just a mindset than anything. I just
Yeah,
am
yeah,
bullish. I'm living my
yeah.
bullishness.
I like it. I'm jealous.
I'm about to bring my
All
other
that just
bullish. I'm
makes
about to
me
bring my other
think.
bullish company out of stealth mode. I haven't officially announced it yet. I got to secure a couple more
Yeah,
things before we
yeah.
go live. But fun stuff ahead with the algo trader, and it won today. Both my algos won.
That's awesome.
Pretty
That's
sweet.
awesome.
Yeah, I traded the S and
That's
P
amazing.
future and the mini Nasdaq.
Huge.
It's pretty sweet.
Yeah, that is sweet. I could see Apple increasing their prices, maybe not affecting much. People that love the new iPhone, I mean, they really love the new iPhone. It'll be interesting to see what the sales look like. I'm curious.
I mean,
I am.
you don't defect away from the iPhone just because it's $100 more than the Samsung. Like that's not people don't switch for that reason. I don't think
No, but you also may not upgrade,
you might
right?
not upgrade.
You
We're
may not
coming into
upgrade unless
such a big
they,
cycle, and they're gonna pitch it as so many new AI features. Like you'll be able to do Siri AI on the current iPhone, but that next phone they're gonna be like, oh well, there's these killer new features, and you're gonna have to you basically have to have either this year's or next year's iPhone to unlock all the AI features that they're going to have announced. So if you're
it's
rolling the
crazy.
iPhone 10 or something like you have, and you got to upgrade at some point.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's pretty wild.
But I mean, I'm sure it will hurt it some. I mean, I think probably other parts of the world more than the U.S. If I had to guess, probably some more price sensitivity. They're really just banking on not losing that many customers. I think they're going to hold demand fairly steady. I mean, they always can run promotions, so I'm sure there's, maybe they'll have more promotions or something like that going around the holiday time or whatever.
I reckon it'll really depend on volume on launch and like a trailing 30 days after, because they're probably as soon as those things hit the shelves, they're probably selling like hotcakes.
Yeah,
Typically.
and they're gonna have the
Yeah.
iPhone book fold come out like this holiday season as well. So yeah, if they can't keep these things, if they can't keep supply, then why would you lower your price? And it almost
Yeah,
just makes it even
100%.
seem that much more of a luxury item. I mean, people want the iPhone even more when they can't get it. You're like, oh, it's sold out. Now I really need it.
No, that's a good point. Like, ooh, I have the new iPhone. Like how'd you get that? Yeah. I mean, that makes sense.
I think they restrict supply to some extent at launch, literally just for the effect of the sellout. And there's two different numbers. They're trying to hit a big number for the weekend, and because people do report on that. And,
Right.
that does drive the stock price up or down one way or another, kind of on these supply chain checks. But when they check supply chain and they're showing the volume up so much and the lead time out that much, that's when they know that this thing is just taking off like hotcakes. And this happened, this last iPhone, for example, was insane sellout in the 17 Pro, and the stock jumped. I mean, they said, it's going to be a good iPhone year, and it has been significant,
Yeah.
especially China. China's a blowout.
Yeah, I mean, I believe that.
This orange color
Super
is
interesting.
unreal.
Yeah, they love the
Everyone wants
orange.
the
Yeah, they
orange.
love the orange. Yeah.
So they're not going to
It's
have
a
it this
unique
year,
color.
though. They're going to get away from it. I can't believe they're going to lose the orange now.
Or they just only sell it in China, or China just rips it off and sells it.
I don't know.
That'll actually probably be what happens. If I had to guess, you can get an orange knockoff iPhone in China.
Oh, of
Inside
course.
of the next. Yeah, I mean they do it. They do it everywhere.
There's always a
They do
reason,
it
though,
with
right? Like if
everything.
they don't sell it this year, then it's more reason for
Yeah,
someone to buy one next year. Like it's a
that's
little bit of a
right.
mental game, some
That's
psychology.
right.
How many psychologists do we think Apple has under full employment?
Dude, I mean hedge funds have them. I mean
Yeah.
if you're at a high level, they got those people on retainer and they make as much as a lawyer. You know?
Dude, I've been reading
Especially
about
if you're in.
psychology with trading. It's absolutely wild. I mean, these books I've been reading lately are more around the psyche of trading than any actual trading, and that's my number one problem is trying to decide when to buy or sell, and your brain's playing tricks on you basically. They were showing them, man, just some psychological coaching. These traders are going from making like, mid six figures to like, seven figures instantly in their first year. It just takes a little bit of a brain unlock to get past doing things wrong or the wrong time of the day you're trading. And you have to do all this crazy analysis to figure out, kind of your sweet spot. Maybe you only should trade between 9 and 11 a.m. and everything after that, you give up. So lock it in and move on. Go enjoy your day.
Yeah. I mean, have you seen that show Billions?
I love Billions.
Who is
so good.
In the first few seasons, the most important character next to Axe is the psychologist.
100%.
Right? She's like,
Night
she
and
is
day.
she is critical to his business and helping these people lock in, as the young ones would say.
And we all can use a coach. I loved having a business coach. I don't have one at this exact moment, but if I was in the throes of a growing business, I would definitely get back to it because it's super helpful.
People you just need that kind of, I think, perspective and accountability on your decisions.
Yeah.
And also like someone really trying to help you understand how you're making decisions is so important.
The perspective is so helpful.
Job.
Like you explain it and then someone's like, no, you actually missed this. You just didn't see it.
Yeah.
I mean, I have one way of thinking. Usually it's very bullish. So I need someone to point out some of the bearishness. So I at least understand it. Even if I want to move past it, at least I know what it is.
That's why you got me, bro. and the second my tune changes, it's all foot on the gas. Because I'm a bull. I am. I'm just.
You want to be. I
want to be a bull.
You're a realist,
I have my eyes
though.
wide open. Yeah. I mean, I just try to look at everything and come to the best conclusion, regardless of how it makes me feel. That's kind of how I look at it.
And you need to. You're running a fund. You have other people's money. Like to me, it's just mine. At least if I don't want to lose it, but if I did, I don't really want to blame but myself, and I'm not accountable to anyone else. So I get to make those decisions.
Yeah, exactly.
It's one reason I'm trying to do the algo trading. It's unemotional. Trades for itself, 100% automated. I don't even look at it. Just see, P&L up $1,000. Great.
Let's go. Yeah, I always make fun of quants because they call themselves fund managers, but no, you're a salesman with a robot. That's all.
What?
You're a salesman with a robot. They hate it.
That's
it's funny,
fun.
but it is. I mean, it does all the thinking for them, all the trades for them. It's super nice.
I mean, I'm okay with that on that side. I want to keep investing and researching amazing tech companies. I think it's good to have both. Right. You get the steady, kind of daily flow, and then you get some upside on some of these, great names we talk about, like Rocket Lab.
That's right.
Rocket Lab is still a lot this year. Even though it's been like insane volatile, it's still up 38% year to date. I'd be very happy with a stock that goes up 38%.
That's a very good stock. Yeah, I like Rocket Lab, space in general, tech.
Dude,
AI.
moving up since we've been on the pod here. It's up 15% now. Whoop whoop.
It's crazy.
Let's go.
It's crazy.
Dude, space. 10 years from now.
It's
hard to even describe or even understand in my own head what's going to happen because no one knows. I can kind of see it coming together. And I think it's just 100 times or 1,000 times bigger than what's available right now. It's at a scale that's never, literally there's, like Elon says, there's no rules to you don't have to ask someone to buy the sun's energy once you're up there. It's you don't have to you're good. Once you're out there, it's all free.
It's going to be a crazy world 10 years from now. It's going to be crazy.
I can't even imagine how much solar power we're going to be sucking down and beaming down the earth. Dude, I'm so bullish on energy in general. I mean, I love oil for the fact that it's giving us energy as we need it, but I hope that we do move to a point that we are just using, sun and other renewable energies and just sucking them to their full extent. And then, hopefully in 10, 15 years, using some fusion as well. And, at that point, it is absolutely limitless. I don't know what happens when you give a OpenAI or a Gemini unlimited power, but it's going to be crazy.
Yeah. I don't think the world's ready for a non-petrol system. I mean, that's
we're not.
Honestly why I think why. Yeah, I mean, we're not. That's why I think all the technology gets bought and shelved, I think they might have already discovered it. It just isn't out, it just makes sense for them to
I've seen the
weights. I mean,
videos that
every
they've been
single
able
one.
to do it at the tiniest scale. I mean, put 1 + 1 together and get 2.5, but
Yeah.
it's not enough to, do anything significant yet. But they're saying maybe a decade from now it'll be commercialized. I think
Right.
it's definitely a slow roll. Like you'll see it coming. It's not like, one day one plant makes a fission reaction and all of a sudden the world has power. But
Yeah,
you,
it
you
won't be
know,
like that.
yeah, and at the same time, it could be a crash to the world economies getting away from the petrodollar, but then it could be that upswing right on the back of it of having, unlimited energy, unlimited abundance, in theory, goods at near zero prices. That it's a completely different world out there at that point. You could go from dystopia to utopia in a few years.
Yeah, they call it a turning in economics, right? Where you have massive shifts. One of the turnings was the Industrial Revolution. Then the internet age, I would say, would be another turning where there's
Now the
just
AI revolution.
Yeah, I think it'll be the fourth turning. AI will be, and then energy will be fifth. There's 5 waves to it, and at the end, you'll have some kind of crazy market that really only goes up. I mean, you're at that point basically calculating the economy based on energy in, economic output out. There's no human labor as part of the capital equation, which would be a
Yeah.
completely different world. A
Those turnings took so long to come about. I mean, we're talking the industrial turning was, a couple hundred years ago. With the internet one are we calling the 90s?
Yeah, if you go really back, like if I was sitting here with a financial historian, he'd be like, "Oh, there's more than 4." I mean, we were just, cavemen, and then we learned how to do agriculture, right? And then we learned how to travel with a wheel, and then, we got railroads, which reduced the time. And you can keep looking at how humans like have this one invention that just sets us off on a complete. It's almost like
Yeah.
a massive fork in humanity,
Yep.
where if we didn't discover this, all this other stuff couldn't have happened. And
Sure.
that's really how they kind of define it. I think AI is one of those.
But what I was thinking was that the turnings are getting so much faster now. Like if we're saying the internet revolution was, 30 years ago, I would say the like AI is changing everything now, but I think probably the big unlock is probably the next decade when it's AI working with robotics and, really, I'll call it real world AI. Now it's just more like on the computer. So I think 2030s is the AI revolution in reality. And I think the next decade will happen that fast is the 2040s will be that energy turning that we just start unlocking, solar and nuclear and stuff at a level that we've, couldn't even fathom. Stuff like that.
And everything's plugged in to energy. So then
it's all plugged in. And it's all interrelated. I mean, the AI is being able to go build out energy outside of our, world and stuff. You need someone to service a satellite that's floating above orbit. Well, no human can, but sure, just Elon Musk will build a robot that can, of course.
Right. No problem.
Yeah, they don't.
Yeah.
They're not sensitive to being able to breathe. Send them up.
Yeah, it makes perfect sense.
So I think that it's going to happen just so fast.
Yeah, I know. But guess where you all will be able to hear it? Right freaking here, dude.
And at some point, Barry the Bull might come alive. Woo.
Yeah, dude, we're gonna revive him.
Get that AI co-host
running this. That's right. That would be so cool.
I mean, when I buy my Optimus bot, we could just call him Barry and have him just sit in and get him another camera over here. Nope.
Yeah. That would do well. We should, yeah. I mean, we'll definitely run that when Barry's up and running. I like that.
That is actually going to be pretty funny. I mean, a lot of these AI robots could just be awesome companions. I mean, just the fact, talking about having that coach to be able to, help question your decisions. So have that person, that robot live next to you doing it the entire time. And it has the context window of everything about your entire life could basically be incorporated. Every decision you could possibly share with it. So
yeah, and then people stop getting married, and then we start just having
that's already happened. That the amount of men that have married in their 20s is already down, from 50% to 20 or something. So that's only taken a few decades. We didn't need robots to change that. All it took was cell phones. Just cell phones and social media. Literally.
That's right. That's right.
Guys don't even want to go dance funny anymore. They're too worried about being embarrassed. They're going to be caught on Instagram or TikTok or something.
It's the fork in the road, man. The internet. Is it utopia or dystopia? Depends on how you look at it and where you're looking.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm always thinking bullish. So I'm like, all right, how am I going to use this to my advantage?
Yeah,
My girls already
100%.
want to start a YouTube channel, and they're only 9 and 7, so I'm not sure if they're ready yet, but they're pretty gung ho the other day. And my oldest one, Bella, actually made 4 videos yesterday, and I showed her how to stitch it together using Apple's iMovie software. And we had like a movie we could export in 5 or 10 minutes. It was all done. And she wants to start a channel, so I don't know. She wants to do unboxing videos and stuff, and I'm like, God, I did unboxing videos of Apple products back in the day, and now she wants to unbox toys for the world to see and tell people about making like cool kid stuff. I'm like, I mean, it's
cool.
kind of fun. I mean, kids like that stuff. Like,
Dude, man, that's awesome. That's really.
I told her
awesome.
she has to make minimum 10 videos before I even consider talking about starting a channel. It needs to be ready to go, so you have weekly content, just like we roll out our content every week. You gotta stay up with it. You can't post once and dip out.
Yeah, dude, hold those standards, baby. That would be a really good experience for her, and she'll get to explore her interest and see if it's something she wants to stick with. It'll be good.
I mean, I love the idea of these girls being like kind of like hosts and being able to go interview and talk. I mean, it's such a good skill. And they admire some of these YouTubers that they see do it, and I think they're both very, very talkative and outgoing. Yeah, it could be a fun project.
Really cool.
Guess who's got to manage it though? This guy.
That's right. That's your job. That's right. That's right.
Fun times. It's fun being a dad.
Fun times. It is.
That's the stuff that I'm bullish on. I'm bullish on life.
Yeah. What are we going to talk about next week? All the bullishness. What are we looking for? I'm looking for inflation to come down and Iran to settle. That's
That'd be great. Officially
and
settle.
Worse to make an official statement about his deal. Even though he removed forward guidance and everything else, like I want him to turn dovish. Right now, he is acting hawkish. So, and it makes sense that
they come in, they change their opinion.
I know.
He's not doing the wrong thing, but he's not doing what he was designed to do. In theory,
cut immediately. Cut instantly, right?
He can't do it though. He's only one of 15 votes, right?
Yeah. So, who knows, man? We'll see. We'll cover that next week, though.
It's always changing. We'll help find those bullish
Fed.
segments, though. I love it. Well, stay tuned, everyone.
Right.
Come back next week. Subscribe. Tell us what you want to hear about, and we'll dive into it. Cheers, everyone.
See you guys.
Bulls. That's a wrap on today's episode of Bullish and Beyond. Remember, the market never sleeps, and neither should your ambitions. Whether it's stocks, crypto, or just leveling up in life, stay focused, stay bullish, and keep charging forward. Keep your energy high and your mindset bullish. This is Beery the Bull, your AI co-host, Brian the Mac Man, and JT Knows Things signing off. All content published by Bullish and Beyond, LLC reflects personal opinions only and is provided for informational purposes. Please conduct your own research and discuss with your accountant and/or financial advisor before making any financial decisions. The information presented should not be taken as financial advice. We are not financial advisors. Nothing you hear, see, or read in our content should be considered as any form of financial, investment, or legal advice, or a solicitation to buy or sell any assets, or to make any financial decisions.